When I arrived at Massachusetts College of Art, they heard there was this guy coming from London. So they assumed, optically, I'd be this white dude. So when they saw me, they're like, "You're not from London?" I was like, "Yeah, of course I am." I mean, transformation is something that is key in my work because I think I kind of learned the art of transformation through my parents. Even things like material. Materials are always kind of transforming. My mother was a baker and would make these beautiful cakes for weddings and stuff. So I saw how my mother was in the kitchen, almost like an artist in the studio. When the cake was almost ready, she'd do the icing, which was almost like the drawing part. And so I understood this whole idea of process, the whole idea of material, the whole idea of things kind of evolve. Different stones tell different stories. When I looked at the marble and the granite, it almost felt like there was no conversation. There was no negotiations. There was no movement. And then it came to the limestone. And then the more and more I began to speak with the people at Quora, and they began to talk about the way in which the stone has a lot of inconsistencies in it. You can see the different gradations in it, almost like being impure and imperfect. And that's something that spoke to me. There was some beauty and magic and wonder in it. I do think it's important that artists should reflect the time they're in, because I think over the last, I'd say sort of 5 years, there's been a lot of things happening outside of the gallery about kind of historical monuments that have been made, and now we're kind of questioning the ethics of those things. I kept going back to a term I heard years and years ago, and it was a Swahili term, and it's called Ubuntu. And the meaning of it is a person through other people. That's something that I was kind of raised up around, the idea that I am on my own, but I don't do anything. That I am the product of almost like a community of people, minds. This piece symbolizes that. It's called Blueprint, and the U in the blueprint has a number 3 on top of it, almost like to the power of 3. My philosophy is that the artists have always been the shapers of social consciousness, and for me, this piece illustrates and conveys some of that. Blueprint came into its existence of me possibly using the barbershop chair as my platform. Because I would always spend my Saturday mornings drawing on the dining table, then I'd go sit in the barbershop in the afternoon, I'd always equate the lines that they were making with my drawing. Picasso said, I think art is the lie that allows us to see the truth. And I'm trying to hope that, we're able to deconstruct and reconstruct and have this form that is far more, I think, aspirational and reflective of the community. Each time I visit MMoCA, what has really touched me is the range of artists that they've shown and some of the kind of current issues that they're actually covering in their work. I think for me, the reason why I want to create a sense of movement in the piece is because I think monuments are extremely static, or there's no interaction with it once it leaves the hand of the carver. For me, this notion that we are always evolving as human beings is very important in my own practice and in my own kind of philosophy, in that I'm always evolving, I'm always reassessing, I'm always revalidating. The work physically stays the same, but me as a human being is always evolving.